Just wanted to say thanks to all the speakers that have already presented today. There's been some really great content, and yeah, I know I've taken a lot away, so hopefully over the next 20 minutes you guys will all take something from what myself and Ryan are about to present. But yeah, introduce myself. My name's Bex. I'm a client partner at Adobe Advertising, joined by Ryan, Optimization Manager at Merkle. And yeah, we're really excited to take you through the work we've been doing with South Australian Tourism Commission. Just to preface, I'm going to change that to SATC as I speak today because I'll fumble over that. But yes, to kick off, we'll be taking you through the CTV effect and uncovering the true value of CTV. Quick agenda. Firstly, I'll be taking you through the challenge of CTV and how we are addressing that challenge. And then I'll hand over to Ryan to go through the key results and learnings and also what's next. Cool, jumping right into the challenge. I think it's important to recognise, and like we just said, CTV is definitely growing exponentially over the last few years, especially in Australia as well, locally. I think it's around 9 in 10 people will be streaming content through CTV, and it's the most consumed BVOD device with around, I think it's 2.8 million hours streamed daily. So, excuse me, a lot of time for us to reach consumers through advertising. So while I think, CTV has definitely become more legitimised and elevated as a channel in 2023 especially, there's still that challenge that marketers are facing of how are they going to maximise investment in this channel. eMarketer have come with a few statistics showing that 30% of marketers require more transparent performance measurement, 26% need a more connected ecosystem for greater scale, and then 47% desire higher quality targeting data for that personalised campaign. So addressing the challenge, we're now going to go through how SATC and Merkle have partnered with Adobe to really start to connect branding and performance with CTV and how we're solving that challenge of measurement within this channel. So SATC's destination marketing is designed to drive both mental availability, so that is making South Australia easy to remember and hard to forget, and then also physical availability, so making it easy to plan and book for. When we look at the two strategies behind those objectives, that mental availability is achieved through brand media and driving reach, whereas the physical availability is driven through leveraging performance media so that we can drive consumers to their website where they have their planning and booking tools, and that's in the aim to generate leads to businesses. Historically, when we look at connected TV, we would say that it sits very much on the left-hand side with that brand media strategy. But now we've started to ask that question around what impact is CTV having on performance media. So we've been a long-standing customer of SATC have been a long-standing customer of Adobe, and when we started to ask these questions around that performance and how is that being driven by CTV and what impact is that having, they tasked us with the following goals and success metrics for their CTV campaigns. So just quickly go through those. Firstly was to understand the evolving relationship between SATC, their customer, and connected TV. To produce successful business outcomes, obviously, through actionable insights. Thirdly, to start shifting CTV from those delivery benchmarks to actual business KPIs and objectives. And then lastly, having that holistic measurement of CTV alongside other marketing channels and platforms. So how did Adobe solution help deliver these goals? Essentially, it was through our connections between Adobe Advertising DSP and Adobe Analytics, which they use for all their measurement and reporting throughout the business. Just to kind of simplify the integration, which I'm sure the engineering product team hate, but to make it really kind of simple, it connects your campaign advertising insights with your marketing data. So really just marrying up those two data pieces. I guess from there, and once you're able to connect that sort of data, we're really able to try and drive better results through using the marketing insights we can get with analytics and pushing that across to Adobe advertising for more optimization towards those key business outcomes. There are a number of benefits towards connecting those two data sets. Highlighted a few here that were most important to South Australia Tourism Commission. Firstly is that holistic performance measurement, so having real-time campaign insights and being able to connect that to your marketing activity. Secondly, being able to create and execute on customised goals, obviously backed by that enterprise data we get from analytics. And then last, obviously, benefit is being able to create more efficiency by having a streamlined campaign workflow. So how exactly does this work? So when we're connecting these two data points, the aim of this in this use case was to link the CTV ad exposure to an action that someone would then come and perform on your site. So essentially a view through conversion, someone would see the South Australia Tourism Commission advert on the connected TV. We obviously can't click right through and go to the website from there, but they would then come, search for the brand, perform different actions on that site. Once we're able to validate that that person, or that it belongs to the same, the device, belongs to the same household and look back setting, we're then able to attribute that view through conversion to the connected TV. So for South Australian Tourism Commission, this means that they're now able to measure the impact of CTV against both their branding, so that mental availability, and then also their performance strategy, so that physical availability. I wanted to show you a bit about kind of what that looks like, a little bit of a comparison of before and after that integration. So as you can see here, we're able to now kind of surface a lot more data insights. You can see still getting that holistic view, as we've been talking about today, that holistic view of performance across all the different publishers. We can still look at those media metrics like your CPM and your cost and impressions, but we're also now able to see and tie what on-site actions have been driven from those CTV, from those different publishers, I should say. So, for example, we're seeing Publisher 5 has driven the most visits and conversions as opposed to Publisher 2. But yeah, it's with those, being able to kind of marry that all up now in one is extremely valuable, especially for the wider business. And I think we've heard this a couple of times today. It's kind of when we're trying to show the real value of advertising to the wider business, to senior stakeholders that don't talk in CPM terms or impressions, it's now really valuable to be able to show that impact, show how many visits we're getting from these different publishers, so show how many conversions. These are just a few examples. On-site action could be anything that's important to that brand, whether it's a particular page view or a click to a link, maybe a download of a brochure. Anything that's an action on site that's valuable to your brand, and we're capturing within analytics, we can now pull into a nice workspace and you can show the impact your different advertising channels are having. Cool. Going a step further, and again, this has been mentioned, it's one thing to be able to pull all these data and insights from your advertising and from your marketing, but how are you actually using that to drive results? So with this new integration, we're now able to assign goals, so customised goals based on those actionable events to your CTV campaign. So it means that we're actually not just optimising like you historically would towards CPMs, but we're optimising towards business outcomes. Again, like I said, this is extremely important when we're trying to show how connected TV, and when we're trying to maximise investment, we're showing to the leadership, it's having an actual business outcome, and now we're starting to really optimise towards that. So I will hand over to Ryan to take us through some key results and learnings from SATC.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I am not Edward Brooks. He unfortunately couldn't make the flight up here, but I'll try to do my best in his stead. So today, I'm just going to take you through some key results and learnings that we, as their agency partner, Merkle, have found with SATC as well. So right off the bat, One of the really important things that we've seen from this tool is that we're actually able to measure that on-site performance. And so as Bex had mentioned, it's not just a specific pixel event of a conversion, but actually how they're interacting with that site as a whole. And so what we're able to see was that CTV is actually driving the highest time engagement on site at 3 minutes 5 compared to all of the other channels, which is upwards of 187% more than that of paid social. And so this is already just a nice sort of glimmer into the benefits of being able to connect this brand into that performance to really start to build out that channel strategy. As we'd kind of expect, when you're spending more time on site, you're also engaging with those more pages as well. And that was able to sort of shine through here, showing that they are actually engaging with 1.94 pages. Now, the big thing with SATC as a website is it's people looking on that site to engage and see if they want to travel back to South Australia. And the more pages, generally the more products, and that allows us to build out their conversion, which is when they click out from a product page to another site. SATC is a unique business whereby their conversion event isn't naturally on their site, it's them clicking off to a different website. And so being able to at least have this information is still driving what they want to know in terms of those conversion events themselves. When it comes to the tool, one of the other important things though, and where it really starts to shine, is you're not just seeing what that specific channel is doing, you're actually able to see the halo effect that it's having on all of the other channels as well. And so what we can see here is that it's driving more page sites for the DSP media, as well as the organic search and EDMs. Now for our team, we manage the performance media for SATC. And so being able to at least see that halo effect that it's having on the organic side, as well as the EDMs, is really important because it shows that full approach as well. And it's actually been able to create some really unique strategies that we've been able to employ around the mix of organic search, paid search, as well as CTV. And then as well, if I just click through these. And so naturally, as any business, they're relying more on conversions rather than just the base metrics of your page visits as well. And this is able to then show what that's actually having as an effect for the conversions itself. And CTV, it's up and coming. It's all there's a lot more spend being directed towards it, and being able to have this tool to show that influence from brand to performance is really important to being able to direct that channel strategy and provide those metrics to the wider teams as to the importance of this. And one of the big call outs here is naturally that 84% increase in leads when social and CTV is combined. In the broader sense, everyone could be a traveller, and so SATC's market is pretty large, especially when they're going up against the likes of our favourite Queenslanders. And so being able to narrow that down and create those synergies between the channels to ensure that you're seeing that benefit between social and CTV is really important. And it's once again just reinforcing that halo effect that it sort of has. And then as well, yeah, cool. The last thing as well is, we've talked about the impact. Using this tool, we can see the impact that the channel has on its own self in terms of the view through of site visits and conversions, as well as that halo effect. But then personally for my team, optimizations in our name, and being able to actually do mid-campaign optimizations towards the publishers and being able to see that extra layer deeper is really, really critical for us, because it allows us to just do so much more and really employ a lot of different unique and experimental methodologies of trying out different premium deals for CTV and seeing what those more premium CPMs might actually drive from that view through. And just be able to show that through and define who SATC's true TV audience actually is. In terms of what's next, so when we look at it and when we're in our sort of channel planning with SATC, we're actually about to launch their new campaign very soon. There's 3 sort of key points, and then just after this I'll actually play a video of Ed answering a few of these questions. And for us, like, the really important 3 key things here is being able to actually refine back this audience and refine it to a point where we're not just targeting everyone, but but we're actually able to create that cross synergy, and that's through that retargeting as well from those campaign learnings. As Bex had sort of mentioned, one of the awesome things as well is that you're able to sort of stray those lines between brand and performance media for CTV now, and being able to actually create optimization goals between looking at it from a view through of a visit rather than just optimizing towards the lower CPM or completed views, and seeing what that actually has as a larger impact when we're comparing the campaign using these optimizations compared to previous ones as well. And then lastly as well is, because we now have this access to the data, it's a lot easier to have these conversations with both SATC, but also for SATC's marketing team to have those conversations with their wider business about why we should be investing more money within this channel and actually what that impact is, which it can sometimes be quite difficult, especially in our current times, when it looks at brand and performance media and trying to balance that media budget from there. I'll now hopefully successfully play a video from Ed, or maybe I won't. No, I won't.
It might take a second. Let's.
Do I need to press a button?
No, it should play.
Okay.
Possibly not. Just dramatic effects. You know.
Yeah, the suspense.
I think the single biggest benefit is the ability to see the impact on exposure of that ad has on the performance of other channels. So someone will see a CTV ad, and then because we can household people, someone watching connected TV, seeing the ad on their connected TV, who then visits our website on their laptop or mobile phone, which has also been on that Wi-Fi network, means that we can track that. And so we can see the impact that connected TV has on priming people to then perform the action that we want them to perform on our website. Connected TV, we've always used connected TV as a means to extend our TV buy and get as much reach as possible in a cost-effective way. What we've found with these changes is we're able to evaluate the impact that connected TV advertising has, not only on building brand awareness, but also we can see the impact it has on priming users who then visit our website via other channels. And we're seeing that people who have seen a CTV ad and then visit our website convert at a much higher rate than people who have not seen a CTV ad. And so that's something that's really interesting to see, the impact that CTV has on driving performance via other channels. So I've talked about how CTV, now we can see the impact it has on lifting conversion rates via other channels. But what we're really wanting to get to from a destination marketing point of view is understand the impact CTV has on actually driving visitation to South Australia. It's one thing to talk about increasing brand awareness or salience or intent to travel. And it's another thing to talk about the impact it has on-site conversion metrics via other channels, which in itself is a really good thing that we talk about in this presentation. But the extra thing that we want to be able to do, the next step, is to tie that with location providers so that we can see the impact connected TV ad exposure has on actually driving physical visitation to South Australia, because that's the challenge we have. It's very difficult for us as a destination marketing organisation. We don't have any hotel beds or tour tickets that we sell. We're basically acting as a referral agent for all of our tourism businesses in SA. It's really important for us to understand the impact that our advertising has on driving visitation, and that's the next step of what we're trying to do.